All right, now I got my GoPro on a tripod. I got this remote that I can start it and stop it and whatnot. I'll have to figure out later. And I got this door so I can plug in the camera and not have to worry about the door being open later. This is for my TIG machine, so I can do a lot more functions like pulsing and stuff. It says wave type, so I can do SIN, sandtooth, triangle, and square. That's cool because the welders that I was looking at are a lot more expensive that have those. I have a frequency and a duty cycle. I don't know why that wouldn't be turned all the way up. Amp drop, creator or crater. I'll have to figure out what some of these are for. And post flow. So this is gonna make my welder a lot more capable. And it plugs in right where the foot pedal plugs in with these cords. That's cool. And evidently it needs a power source. So that's gonna be neat to mess with. And I got lug nuts for my weld wheels so I can put the rears on. And I got plugs. And then this, hopefully it's the right one when I go to put it on, but it came with a plug right here. Came with a plug that's removable, and I can put the plug that I just bought in there. I thought I was going to have to thread that, so that's cool. And I went and bought some gasket maker at AutoZone. And I think I left that in the truck, so I'll have to go get that. And I'm going to put the water pump on today. All right, it seems like it's in all the way, but it shakes. So I feel like it needs to go in a little further, but when I measure it across, it's sticking in further than the flywheel. So I'm pretty sure it's all the way in. Well, that's weird. I'm not sure if it's I think that's all the way in. Okay, so I got it in further. It's about almost a 1/4 inch in now. I was rocking on this. And what I had to do was I shifted this a few times while I was turning it, and something, because I turned it and pushed it until I messed with the gears, and I'm not sure even where it's at. Maybe it's in park or something now, I don't know, but then I twisted it and it finally popped in. So now it's solid. Well, it still shakes a little bit, doesn't it? Let's see. Feels like it's turning something now when I turn it. Oh, even further now. Now it's really in there. Get my fingers in there now. A little bit concerning because I don't think my flywheel sticks out that far. And it still shakes around. Okay, I put the van torque converter in, and it measures out when I check the bolt depth. So it might even be a little bit too close. But this is closer than the other one. So I'm not quite sure what to do here. I'm gonna have to, I'll bet you I wind up having to get a different bell housing for that higher RPM torque converter to work. And I might have to shim this out. Put another shim there on the engine right here to get this the right depth. Otherwise it's going to be pushing on the pump. It's not going any further in. Yeah, it ain't going any, I don't think it's going any further. Well, it's 0.049 too far. That might actually be intolerance. I'll have to look it up. So I don't know whether I should bother putting this together or not yet. This one is a different transmission, and it's a 1/4 inch deeper than it should be to mate up with the flywheel. So it's not nearly as bad. And I don't know, 1/4 inch might be able to make that up with the, and it sits flush in here. Just doesn't rock on the middle piece. But this transmission here, with the van torque converter, it does rock. But this measurement here is on. So I think this probably fits in here. Yeah, there's room for that knob to go inside this hole, and it looks like from this wear pattern that it was there on the last engine. But this one does not show a wear pattern like it was inside of anything at any time. Pretty certain that's all the way in. That's 0.399, so 0.4 off. 0.400 off. That's, geez, that's a lot. A little under a 1/2 inch. That's, well, it's actually, it's 3/4 of an inch. So is the, well, that's the total, but it's there's a difference of 0.399 between the two. Okay, now That's 1.15. Now I'm gonna zero it. Until it touches. It's 374 this time, so it's a little bit fluctuations. So yeah, it's just under a ½ inch. Feels like it's still engaging the pump, but I don't know. I'm not sure what to do here. Okay, so what exactly is the difference in these two converters if this one sits so far back? I mean, this one's clearly thicker. This is not long enough. Okay, so that's a little over 7 3/4, probably 7 13/16. And this is 6 3/4. No, and it's actually 6 1/4, sorry. Yep, 6 1/4. 7 3/4. So I got it all the way in, and that's how far it sticks in to the bell housing. And this flywheel only sticks in that far from where it bolts. That's like an inch difference or more. Probably a little more than an inch difference. If it was right, I should be touching it, the torque converter right there. Okay, so this flywheel is just under an inch. Okay, probably closer to 3/4 of an inch to this plate, from this plate on the engine. That's where the bell housing is going to bolt up. This is where the torque converter has to be almost touching that with a little bit of play. Like I should be able to wiggle the converter back and forth just a little bit according to videos I watched. Okay, so this is the bell housing that is the same as yours, and it's the van, and that is almost 3/4 of an inch. That's probably within tolerance from what I've found online. When I have that torque converter in here, there's over an inch. It's like 1.5 inches or 1 3/4 from the level to where it bolts up. It sits back in there way too far for it to bolt up to to the flywheel. And I'm not sure how far I can pull this one out if it's just going to be barely holding on to the oil pump in there, or if it's going to just be barely hanging on to the spline if I pull it out that far. That's what I'm unsure of. Now look at this. With this bell housing, this torque converter fits this bell housing. I should probably use this transmission. And what I'm not completely certain about is the starter hole, if that's gonna be the same tooth, because I might bolt that in and then figure out my starter won't fit. It's hard to really tell. Well, it's 4 1/4. There's a slight, well, no, there's not. It's the same. They appear to have the same exact bolt pattern and the same exact stuff here and there. That's all seeming to be the same. That there, this there, that there, this hole, it's all the same. So I might have to use this transmission, and it might be messed up, I don't know. I know this shifter here is broke. I'm gonna have to weld something on there or something. Or if I can steal that one off of there. And this one's got some weird kickdown cable on it, and it ain't built like this one. So, and I might play with this even more and get that to jump in there, because it took me quite a while to get this one to jump in there. I'm not even certain that this one's all the way in. I can reach my hand in there behind it, even though it's smaller. When I had it all the way in this transmission, there wasn't this much room back there. Like, I can feel back there about an inch of before it like pinches my fingers or something.